proof of God. Cosmologist astronomer Neil deGrasse Tyson's explanation on miracles, divine intervention, things changing out of nature, unexplained, and of course that's where it's above nature. And this is intriguing. There are many scientists who do believe in God, although they can't explain miracles. Callum Horrocks Best UK reports, Neil deGrasse Tyson, fascinating phenomenon explanation on miracles. What does he think about this? Tyson refuses to rule out the possibility of there being a God, even though delivering a damning verdict on theories of miracles. Many people of many religions worldwide, to them God is conceived as a supreme being and creator, deity, the object of their faith, and those people often pray to their God, hoping to bring good luck or fortune or protection, changing things for the better, and also attributing miracles to them when something unexplained happens. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that these, quote, fascinating phenomenons, end quote, can be explained though, but that does not necessarily mean God is not real, he says. He spoke to Penguin Books last month saying, I do not know if God exists. Deeply religious people are certain he does exist, he or it, but there are ardent atheists who are sure God does not exist. And he goes on to say, my posture is, particularly in the monotheistic traditions, that God is typically described as being all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-good. Yes, God is love, but he's also judgment. He says, yet I look back through history, and in particular the earthquake of Lisbon in 1755. 80,000 people lost their lives there. 1755. That was, of course, a Mediterranean earthquake, as we know. Yeah, that was something. And he goes on to say that earthquake took place on All Saints' Day in the morning when most people in Lisbon and the holiest city in Europe were in church. Well, I wouldn't say it's the holiest city in Europe, but anyway. He says churches were the largest structures of the day, and if you had an earthquake, that's the first building to collapse. The ones that are the largest, most susceptible, so people lost their lives in these churches. He went on to give his own opinion on what God could be. He said, so I take issue with what many people say God is, but there are other ways to think about God. Maybe he's the manifestation of the laws of physics in the universe. I don't certain myself much with it unless someone finds a way that an understanding of God can give me an insight into making another discovery. And many people see things happen to them that is in their favor and say someone is looking out over me and after me. It's a fascinating phenomenon when that happens. And he goes on saying, but when you analyze those situations, what you find is that we as humans simply have a profound inability to understand statistics and probability. It's really that simple. Line up 1,000 people and get them to flip a coin. Whoever gets tails, tell them to sit down. So it's about half. And Tyson went on to detail about this theory. He says, repeat it 250, 125, 60, 30, 15, 8, 4, 2, or 1. Approximately half would sit down every time they flip the coin. There's one person who's standing at the end, and that person flips heads 10 consecutive times and says they felt the energy. Now, who does the press go to? That person. But they don't interview anyone else who may have felt the same way but did not get heads 10 times in a row because they were on their way home. So we think that this guy has some kind of clairvoyance about his fate, or that he prayed, but every time you do the experiment, somebody flips head 10 times in a row. We don't know how to handle coincidences or things that are rare for you, even if they are common in total. Whatever God is, he is not luck. Okay, that's his fascinating phenomenon. Well, most of us, if we ask around in our relatives, in our families, you'll see that, yes, every family has had a miracle if you talk about it. If you research and talk to each other, you will find that every family has had it. Someone in the family has experienced a miracle. That is, even today, unexplained by science. I leave links below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.